And thank you for dressing up for the occasion. Here I am in a pair of shorts and
Well, they can't tell that underneath the desk.
and a fishing shirt. So really wasn't. But thank you for your labor. You know, most people don't know what Labor Day is all about. Do you know what Labor Day is all about?
A 3-day holiday?
Yeah, exactly. Always falls the first Monday of September, but it was created part of the labor movement to dedicate the social and economic achievements of American workers. And it constitutes that, the yearly national, tribute to the workers. Kind of like what May Day is in the communist countries. Pretty much the same.
It's an excuse to have a mattress and a furniture sale and a car sale.
We wish everybody the best prosperity and hope you have a great 3-day weekend, which is coming to an end.
Yeah.
So what a great weekend. Had a lot of things going on, and we'll talk about the Trump boat parades, a lot of boat parades. We had a mishap in Austin. We'll talk about that. But, these Antifa clowns are really getting out of hand. They're burning flags, burning Bibles. They'll burn just about everything, including a pair of Chinese-made tennis shoes. I don't know if they're protesting the Chinese, but in Portland, here's Antifa burning and doing the pee-pee dance. This is what I call the pee-pee dance.
Oh, poor Antifa. Did he catch his shoes on fire when he was burning the flag?
Pobrecito mijo.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The guy's got the trash can. Let me see if I can put it out with the trash can.
Hey, stay still. I'm going to hit you.
And they're all going, we don't have any water. The only thing we have is accelerant.
We're just sitting here ready to burn the flag. Sorry.
So, sorry about that. And so Antifa, by the way, I think he's going to be okay. He won't ever be able to put on a pair of work boots, but don't worry about work boots because they probably don't work.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not doing a lot of work anyway.
So the story that came out in the Atlantic about the president calling soldiers losers and suckers, 10 people so far have come out and said they were there. It never happened, including John Bolton.
Of all people.
John Bolton just wrote a book about President Trump. Trump fired him. So he's not a big advocate of the president of the United States. But John Bolton has come out and said it wasn't true.
It ain't happening. I mean, really? You're going to make something up like that? He said they're losers and suckers.
Here's the deal. Where were you? Where were you, when this happened? I mean, if you were so outraged, where were you? And back in the day...
Why stay anonymous if it's such a big deal? Why?
100% correct. Back in the day, anonymous, we wouldn't even use anonymous as a source because it wasn't reliable, because basically anybody can say anything. But to be an anonymous source, it just doesn't make any sense. It really makes zero sense that the president would say something like this.
No.
And it's 60 days away from the election. The only thing that I have to say, if you want to make such a claim, have the cojones to please back your claim up.
Exactly. I mean, and if anybody's gonna back that up, if John Bolton's sitting there and after he just wrote the book on Trump, you think he's gonna defend him?
No,
not a chance.
No,
not unless it's not true.
So we had the Kentucky Derby that was supposed to be run this week, and it was run. We had a winner, but
the run for the roses.
Yeah, and anyway, Churchill down 146 running of the Kentucky Derby, and a guy by the name of the Angry Viking. One of the TV stations there in Louisville interviewed this guy, and they wanted to know why he was there. Because immediately the press came out and said, all these militias are to blame for America burning. Wait. The militias
Whoa. Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
We can't. We're going to give them a pass, okay? But the militias are to blame. So this guy, who his name is Angry, he gives his name in the entire interview. I don't think I put his name in there. But so he's there, and he said, I'm here to protect people. He said, the NFCA came out, the Grandmaster Jay came out and said he was going to come back and burn Louisville
if they did this.
If they did not have any information about Breonna Taylor. So he said, I'm here to protect. He also went on to say that they would kidnap kids. And the bigger part of this, wait a second, he says this, why wouldn't they arrest him?
But they're going to hold the guys who are coming to protect the kids and protect the people.
Right.
We're going to hold you accountable for the violence.
Those poor militia.
Even though these other guys made threats.
Yeah, the 3%ers, those are the bad guys.
Yeah.
But when it comes to making threats about burning stuff down, we're going to give those guys a pass. I just don't get it. But here's the angry Viking talking about his presence in Louisville over the weekend.
Is anything? It's American patriots. Simply. This is a patriots of this country standing up together, united, just basically saying we're not going to lay down and take it anymore. How is it okay? This is a simple question people need to ask themselves. Why is it okay for an organization to come into a city, say I'm going to burn you to the ground, say I'm going to burn you? Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
To say I'm going to burn a city to the ground, okay? I'm going to kidnap children. All this, and then, P.S. This is all on a YouTube video. You can look it up. Just watch one of his many. I'm going to kidnap children. I'm going to kidnap police officers. I'm going to kidnap the mayors. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And nothing's done. He's called a peaceful protester, a social justice warrior. But when Americans stand up and say, you're not going to burn the courthouse to the ground, you're not going to burn business to the ground, you're not going to assault innocent civilians, we're white supremacists. And that's nothing further from the truth. There's people here that are married to different races, have children by different races, okay? We're not racist because we're conservative. We're not racist because we love this country. We're not racist because we love that flag, support our police officers, believe that everyone should be able to walk the street at any time and not be assaulted, not have their business burned to the ground, not be shot because you're wearing a hat.
All of the rights to all of the people.
All the rights to all the people all the time. I don't care about race. Here's the issue, guys. People think it's about race for me. It has nothing to do about race. Not one time in any one of my videos can anyone say I've ever said a racist term. What I've said is I've called organizations out for profiting on the deaths of black.
So here's a guy that was in the military. He's a retired firefighter, and he said his goal in life is for protecting America. That's it.
Yeah.
And he's a racist.
That was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, he's a racist.
But of course.
Yeah.
But and how much mainstream media attention did you see that?
No.
They just did it. They did what they always do. They painted with broad strokes and said that, there's radical rightists, radical people on the right. These, alt-right people are coming out. And
he admitted that he is a conservative.
Right.
He also admitted that he's a 3%er. That he said 3%ers are made up of every race that you can imagine.
Sure
the whole interview was about 10 minutes long. We don't have time for that, so I just took a clip. But Grandmaster Jay kind of reminds me of back in the day when I was playing funky music. And, I was playing some Parliament on the radio. And
play that funky music, white boy.
Yeah, so Grandmaster Jay, here's part of the video. And what he talked about, he was going to burn this mother down. And by the way, he does use the F word. If that offends you, I apologize in advance.
You've been warned.
You've been warned. Here's Grandmaster Jay. And if he's
See, y'all claim you awake. But when you wake up, you got to get up and do something. Otherwise, you're going to fall back asleep. So I need y'all to agree with me. 4 weeks from today, we gonna come back here and we should have an answer, right? If not, I need y'all to repeat after me. If we don't get the truth, the whole truth, and the motherfucking truth, we are going to burn this motherfucker down.
So I don't know what part that I don't get. That is a terroristic threat on a community.
If we don't get the whole truth, we're going to burn this MF down.
So, and more information is coming out about Breonna Taylor, and I don't want to go into hearsay, but more information is coming out, And I think a lot of times Black Lives Matters and groups like this jump to judgment way too quick.
A lot of times, pretty much every time.
Most of the time.
I mean,
most of the time.
Most of the time. I mean, are there cases that can be made against different kinds of brutality, different kinds of racism?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
But 9 times out of 10, we've shown again and again and again that these are not, that there's a lot more to these situations than what at first glance.
And let me just put it out there. I hate the KKK just as much as I hate groups like that.
Absolutely.
I do, because
they're about division. They're about sowing racial division.
That's it.
Because what about that was about unity?
Yeah. So it looks like a lot of cities are doing the Trump boat parades over the weekend. They were all over the place. Here's a picture from my hometown, Morgan City, Louisiana. You get a bunch of Cajuns together and get a boat parade going. And, of course, there was one mishap. I mean, just a small problem when, was it 2 or 3 boats?
I think it was a couple at Lake Travis in Austin, which is where my uncle has a boathouse. So, so hopefully that wasn't one of my uncle's boats.
Yeah, one of my liberal Hispanic friends said, don't worry about it, manure floats.
Oh, ow.
I was like, that's just sad.
Of course they would.
So the president gets annoyed with a reporter, number one. You have to remember the president is, 75 years old?
I think so.
His hearing's probably not as good as it used to be. So the president gets annoyed and tells the reporter from Reuters to take his mask off.
Take the damn mask off so
I can't understand you. Could you just take the mask off?
We're more than 6 feet away. I know you're proving your point.
Yeah, so the guy's name is Jeff Mason.
Okay.
And can you roll the clip?
Yeah. Here we go.
You're going to have to take that off, Liz. Just, you can take it off. How many feet are you away?
I'll speak a lot louder.
Well, if you don't take it off, you're very muffled. So if you would take it off, it would be a lot easier.
I'll just speak a lot louder. Is that better?
I can't.
It's
No,
better.
I heard him say, "Is that better?"
It's better.
Mr. President, some people are having a hard time believing your denial of the Atlantic story because of what you said about John McCain in the past. Do you understand that?
So anyway, the question was about John McCain.
Well, yeah, he's basically saying
the dude's been dead now for like a year and a half.
It was hard for me to understand with audio, but so he said basically the question is people are having a hard time believing the Atlanta. You're basically saying you didn't say the Atlanta comments.
Yeah, I mean the point about John McCain. Look, I appreciate the service to our country, but John McCain was so deep in the swamp. I mean, and I appreciate his service, but I'll leave it at that. There's not a whole bunch of good things I could say about John McCain.
Agreed. I mean, agree. We appreciate his service. It was a tragedy what he went through, but when he got back, he was a career politician from the time he got back, and he was knee deep, or waist deep in the swamp. He was bad.
He was up to right here.
And supposedly, so he wasn't about, crossing the aisle for the benefit of the country. He was about crossing the aisle for the benefit of himself.
Yep. So much for Black Lives Matters. New York City, their shootings have surged 166% compared to August of 2019. So shootings are up 166%.
Wow.
166%.
So that defund the police thing is working great, isn't it?
It's awesome. And there was a shooting. There was a house party, a shooting, including another little 6-year-old girl this time. And God bless. Thoughts and prayers for her family. Looks like American Airlines, they just furloughed 18,000 people. So American Airlines furloughed 18,000 people. They are going to allow crew members to wear the Black Lives Matters pin, and it's sparking some outrage from some members. Now, Black Lives Matters is a political organization, and wearing their pin and not letting other people wear any other type of pin is wrong. And I think Goodyear has suffered, and I think American Airlines will suffer along with this. I mean, Black Lives Matters is they're on video. saying that white people should be shot. Not all of them, but any spokesperson for Black Lives Matter saying something like that, it's enough. So I think American Airlines caved, and I think they will feel the wrath of the American people. What about, let's talk about this, though. Black Lives Matters. Of the 18,000 people that are laid off, how many are black? Probably a good chunk.
I'm sure there are.
Do their lives matter to American Airlines? Probably not. I would hope. But you just laid them off. So do their lives really matter? I'm thinking not.
Well, but wait a minute. They can't, not lay off. Wouldn't that be racist? They only laid off the white people?
Well, it would be. But Black Lives Matters is a racist organization.
Well, no question.
So to allow that to be pinned on people's uniforms is not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's not good for business. And this is where the lines start to be drawn, is that don't you want your business to get everybody? Or do you just want Black Lives Matters members to fly on American Airlines?
Right.
That I don't get the marketing. I don't get the business model.
They're caving to pressure.
Exactly. That's all they're doing.
It's all it is.
Protesters gathered at the San Francisco home of Nancy Pelosi and hanging up hair curlers and all kinds of stuff. Now, look, the salon that she had her hair done at, the owner of that salon that basically released the information, she has had, people protesting outside her place of business.
Of course.
So these people got together and they're protesting Nancy Pelosi, who started the whole thing. And it's not so much that Nancy got her hair done. It's that nobody else could get their hair done.
Right.
That's the big deal. So here's the video of them protesting.
Say one word about the young woman with 2 children who's a single mom who has lost her salon now because of 6 months of lockdown by Nancy Pelosi and Mayor London Breed, her enabler, the mayor of San Francisco. This woman has no way of making money, and so what does Nancy Pelosi do? She goes on the attack. Not only does she go on the attack, she goes after this woman personally.
You know what's amazing? This happened in San Francisco, California.
Oh,
It gives me hope.
Yeah, right.
It gives me hope.
That you could actually have someone protesting Nancy Pelosi in California.
Unbelievable. It just gave me a lot of hope. And then the last story we'll do kind of squashed all that hope.
And California we just need to let it fall off in the ocean. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have family in California. I have friends in California. But you guys are going off the deep end here.
You're truly off the deep end. So Democrats led a California legislation that passed and is waiting the signature of the governor, Gavin Newsom, who is Nancy Pelosi's family. They're all commingled.
Right.
And Jerry Brown also. They're all commingled. Anyway, it would reduce the penalties for sex with minors.
So we're going to take penalties. We'll make it okay for you to have sex with someone under the age of 18.
Yeah, there is one caveat to this. The minor has to be within a 10-year age gap. So, and so a 10-year age gap. So does that mean like an 18-year-old can sleep with an 8-year-old?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know.
And not be prosecuted? No, I'm sorry. There's nothing that's okay with any of that. And I'm sorry, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old. See, once you get into 16, 17, when you're talking about age of consent, that's a little different. But when you're talking, anything preteen, forget about it.
Yeah, look, in most states, the age difference is like, it varies, but 3 to 5 years. So if you had an 18-year-old who was a legal adult in most states dating a 15-year-old in high school, he's still in high school.
He ages out. They've been dating since they were both minors.
Right. And so that would be okay. So if you have a 21-year-old dating a 17-year-old, that would be okay in most states.
Not my 17-year-old.
Yeah. So, but I don't get the whole deal. A 25-year-old man or woman with a 15-year-old is not cool. You got a 15-year-old.
I do. Oh, hell no.
And so you would think it's okay for like a 25-year-old woman to date your son?
No, not even a little bit.
So,
I wouldn't have to worry about it, though. Their mom would take care of her real quick.
So the crazy thing is that there are people that are saying that this is okay. There are people that are saying that this, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, love is love. So a guy that really pushed this bill, here's a picture of him right here, Will. So he is a Jewish gay legislator.
How the hell does that work?
Well, he's gay and Jewish.
I know, but how does that work? How could
he only does kosher? I don't know.
So
Nathan's would be okay.
Oh my God!
I'm talking about Nathan hot dogs.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
That would.
I don't know that Ben Shapiro would be okay with this. Just saying.
So here's a picture of him and a younger guy that's with him, and they believe that life is good. Life is just fine. And he's the one that started pushing this. His name is Scott Waitner. He's a state senator. And he's the guy that started pushing this. And he's big into the LGBTQ and, which is fine. If you're gay, be gay, but leave the kids alone.
Yeah, exactly. I have absolutely zero problem. If you're homosexual and whoever you choose to be with, as long as they're of consenting adult age.
I don't care.
There's my key. Consenting adult age. I have no problem what they are.
Which in most states would be over the age of 18.
Correct.
Now, there are some states like Arkansas that allows people to get a waiver from their family to allows a older man to marry their young daughter. But the parents have to sign the consent for that to happen. I am not even for that.
No.
I mean, who the hell do you think you are, Jerry Lee Lewis?
Yeah.
He didn't do it once. He did it multiple times. And with his cousin.
Yeah.
Now, that leads a whole... could happen in Arkansas. Just kidding, Arkansas. But the whole thing about, adults being with kids... No.
Not even.
Leave our kids alone.
Well, and more, you're seeing more and more pushing. Why is it just recently that all of this is coming out? We're getting all of this backlash for human trafficking and for underage, sex trafficking, but also from, just any kind of abuse. But also on the same level, we're also getting all of this push to legalize and to make, there he goes again, to make the pedophilia a sex class or a mental disorder. And all of that is asinine and malarkey and needs to just go away.
Okay, Joe Biden, with your malarkey.
What, is that a problem?
Yeah. By the way, I'm working on the Red Bull endorsement.
Oh, my God.
Sugar-free Red Bull. I'd be okay with you guys just dropping off a couple cases.
That's what I was going to say. He's not picky. He'll be good with just you guys.
It doesn't have to be, money. It could just be product. I'm good with it. So
it would just save him some.
I hope you guys have a great Labor Day. We forgot to put in the beginning that we'd love for them to subscribe.
We would.
And so go ahead and subscribe and hit the notifications on YouTube. We'd appreciate that so much. And you can follow us on all our other platforms and Facebook and also Twitter. So we encourage you so much. God bless you. Thanks for working. That's what Labor Day is all about. We're thanking working people. And by the way, if you never worked before, I'd love to thank you, but I just can't.
No, sorry, guys. Thank you guys very much. We'll catch you again next time. We'll be back on Thursday right here. Two Bald Guys on the Right.